Kia ora, and welcome back to Becca and Knits podcast. I'm Rebecca or Bex, and welcome to join me and chat about my knitting today. Right, where to start? Thank you for everyone who joined me and watched my first episode. This has been really fun, so I thought, hey, I'll come and do another one. Today what I am wearing is my Irene sweater. This is a sweater I test knit maybe the beginning of the year. I don't actually remember when. Should have looked that up. I test knit this for Herb Garden Knitwear. It's one of her beautiful newer designs. It's got this beautiful lace yoke here and like a 3/4 length sleeve. I made mine, it has quite a wide boat neck, but mine is especially wide because I used, oh here we go, it's gonna fall apart on me now. Blue Sky Fibers alpaca silk. So this is like a sport weight yarn and it is alpaca silk. So super drapey, like no memory in that at all. It's just super drapey. And because of that, my neckline has opened up even further than the design called for, even though I did get that gauge. I could put some elastic in it, but I actually quite like it. I usually just wear it with a strapless bra and kind of just have it as a slightly more dressy top. And it's lovely to wear and drapey because of the silk and alpaca. I really enjoy wearing it and I really enjoy the colour. So that's what I'm wearing today. Yeah, you can find that Herb Garden Knitwear. It's a beautiful, like I made a few mistakes in the lace when I was making it, so I had to rip back a few times. But that was just me trying to rush through. And it is part of the testing process as well, and now it's really beautiful. It's really simple knit, and yeah, I love it. It's a beautiful summery day here in Wellington, New Zealand, and so yeah, couldn't wear a sweater. It's way too hot for that. But not quite hot enough for like a little knit tank, which I do have some plans for, which we'll get into soon. So, finished objects. I spoke to you last episode about this shawl that I made for one of my daughter's teachers. I finally put the tassels on the ends. So it is 100% complete now. What's it got on it? The fluff. So that is going to get gifted tomorrow. It's the last day of school for my children tomorrow, so that's exciting for them. So that will go in with some yummy chocolate for one daughter's teacher. Then you wouldn't have seen this yet. I cast this on and finished it since the last episode. This is the gift knit for another teacher. It is beautiful. I mentioned the yarn that I was going to use. It's a Knit Crate sock yarn, a merino cashmere blend, and nylon. I didn't use the entire skein. I was planning to, but I was over making it and it was big enough, so I stopped where I was. This is kind of a mashup of patterns. In the end, I used like the base, pattern increases from a pattern called the Local Yarn Store pattern, LYS scarf pattern on Ravelry, which is a freebie. And then I just ended up adding in some eyelet rows because it wasn't growing fast enough. And so yeah, so that was good. I really like it. It's turned out really cute. It's exactly what my daughter wanted to gift her teacher. She wears lots of little neck scarves and it's beautiful and soft being cashmere. I made this on, this is a fingering weight yarn, and I knit it on a 3.75 millimeter needle just because I wanted it quite loose gauge and drapey. So I'm really happy with that. It smells like wool wash, so nice. So that's that one done. And then I had nearly finished this last podcast. This is the muscle borrow I made for my oldest daughter's teacher. And so you can see the two tones there. It's looking really good. Loving it. Hopefully it fits. I don't really, I meant to get my husband to try it on and see, but I haven't actually done that. It just is what it is. I had two 50-gram skeins of 100% merino that was hand dyed in New Zealand by Dreamfire Yarns, and I just used them to their entirety. Yeah, so I'm not sure if he's going to get much of a turn up. It depends if he wants a slouchy hat or a more fitted hat, but it's really fun. My oldest daughter picked the colours, So you've got your sensible side and your fun side. Yeah, so really loving that. That turned out good. I made the adult large on a 3.75mm needle because the yarn packaging said I could use that bigger needle. So I was like, well, I'm going with that. I think my gauge became a little bit bigger than what I measured it as right at the top here. So I'm hoping it's not too big, but a slouchy hat is actually quite cool. So yeah, both sides, that's fun. That one's done. So I can gift those all off tomorrow. So I thought I need to record today so that I can actually show those before I gift them. So they're off to their new homes. Hopefully they will be enjoyed. I think so. Like I feel like they're knit-worthy teachers. They've been amazing to my children this year. So really happy to gift them something beautiful and handmade. So those are my only FOs. I don't have any other FOs for the last couple of weeks. I do have a lot of knitting to share though. I mentioned last episode that I was waiting to cast on my December lento, so I can share that with you now. So I have that in this cute Christmassy project bag that I got given as part of one of my Swappy advents. So thank you very much. I'm loving it. I actually only have one other Christmas project bag, and it's a really kind of like subtle cream and gold one. So it's not actually that Christmassy unless you really look at it. So it's really fun to have something so bright. This is my lento. Here we go. We have a whole body. I'm just doing the ribbing at the bottom now. I'm probably, how many rows in am I? I've done about 5 rows, so probably have about another 10-15 rows of rib to finish off the body there. That's technically the back. Isn't it stunning? This is the yarn that I was gifted by the Creator Bayer from her own personal stash when she used when I won the Let's Lento, a prize from the Let's Lento cow, and it's teamed with the mohair that I hand dyed myself to match because I couldn't purchase anything that looked like it wouldn't detract from the beauty of this yarn. Absolutely stunning. I'm loving it. I only just started my second skein of merino, so I literally, right up until the rib, I knit the body all the way down until the ball ran out, and now I started the rib. So it's going to be a bit cropped, but I quite like cropped. I'm really short-waisted, and I wear high-waisted jeans most of the time, or high-waisted shorts and skirts, and so I don't need a whole lot of length in the body. Usually 30 centimeters from the underarm down is as much as I need, and this one is going to be more like 25, and that's fine. It's more than enough. I've got some that are more cropped than that, and I just choose what I wear them with. Yeah, it's good. I like it. I don't need too much body length. I'm just short and really short in the waist. I feel like my hips and my ribs barely have a gap between them. So yeah, absolutely loving this. Making good progress. Just need some sleeves. I can smash out a lento sleeve in a day if that's the main thing that I do in the day, so I should get that done in the next week, which is good. Because I haven't done any work on my DUOTONE test knit, which is due on the 2nd of January, so I really need to get on with this. Yeah. Here we go. It looks the same as it did last week. I maybe have put like a couple of rows on the body, but that's it. I'm at the point now where I can split for front and back. So as soon as my lento is off my needles, this will be my main project. I will not be casting on anything else, which is sad but necessary to get this underway. It's a drop shoulder. It's called DUOTONE. So I have the majority of the body. I probably have 2/3. This is about 20 centimeters, is it? Yeah, about 20 centimeters. It says 30 total before the rib, but also it's a provisional cast on, so I can do all the top and then add to the bottom if I want it. So I'm going to leave it here body wise and split, do the front and the backs and the neckline, and see if the body needs any more length before adding the rib. I am close to, I've got maybe a quarter left of my first ball of sari. I only have 3 of these, so I also need to be prudent that I don't run out doing the full body before I've got everything else done. Though I think all the cuffs and bands are done in just solely the fingering without the sari, so that should help. So that one needs some work, but it hasn't seen much, but I thought I'd just show you anyway. And then my other main whip at the moment is my Advent knitting. So I told you last episode that I was going to be making the Sweet Shop blanket with my Hobbit Advent. So I have been keeping up so far. So it's going to be a little bit hard to show because it's getting quite large already. Here we go. Look at that. Hoping you can see that because I can't see anything while I'm holding it up. This is today's colour. Today's the 14th. I've put it in on the wrong spot. Look at that. You can, I don't know if you can tell, but that is not the right spot. I should have started at this corner and worked out, and I started at this corner and worked out. So that's getting frogged later, which is a bit of a bummer. It's so pretty. But yeah, absolutely love this. It's really coming together nicely. So this is about a quarter of what the finished size will be, because I'm halfway through, well, 14 days through the thing, and then there will be 2 of each colour. I am planning to try and keep up until the 24th, and then I will probably put it away until I've made it through my test knits, and then pick it back up again maybe at the end of summer, because it's getting really hot to knit on a worsted weight blanket in the summertime. So and it's fine while it was small, but now it's getting quite big. You can see these little badges that I purchased to go with it, and this Progress Keeper came with the Advent set. It's a 1 ring. So fun. Yeah, so I will keep going until the 24th, till I've got 1 of each colour in, and then I shall put it in hibernation before I do the second colour, just until it's cooled down a bit, and because I really need to work on my test knits. And actually one of these, I mean, they don't look very big, but honestly it takes me like an hour and a half to knit one of these if I'm being really thorough and consistent. I'm not very quick at it. I don't know if it's because it's the flat knitting or what, but I'm slow at knitting these. They're really fun because you're working short rows all the time, so it doesn't get boring, but it does seem to take way longer than it should. The only modification I've made is that it's the pattern recommends a 4mm needle, and I'm using a 5mm needle, just because I felt like it could, when I did the first sample, the first square in 4mm needles, I just felt like it was really dense, and I felt like I would prefer a more drapey and slightly larger blanket rather than a really dense and smaller one. And my contrast yarn, this Kelly & Co Irish Tweed, is like a worsted weight, and so, and holding 2 strands of 4-ply always feels more like a worsted weight than a DK weight to me. So they're a great match, but they could deal with going up a needle size or 2, so that's what I've done. I'm having to be quite careful with my yarn management to make sure that I've got enough for the second one. So there may be a row or 2 less of the contrast colour in the second square. I don't think you'll notice, but I'm kind of right on the borderline. I didn't give myself any extra. So yes, it will be a little bit tight, but I think totally fine, and I really like the result and the fabric I'm getting. I have not been keeping up with my ends. I did for the first couple of days and then kind of gave up, but it's not that bad. I actually don't mind weaving in ends, so I will sit down and work on all of those, probably maybe on Christmas Eve when I finish the last square. I'll before I put it away, I will weave in all these ends. Yeah, but they're not bad, and it actually looks quite cool once you get rid of the scruffy ends. The pick up through the slip stitches actually looks really neat and tidy, so yeah, it'll look quite cool on the back side as well, which is always nice. I did have this in my other Christmas bag, but I have just moved it to this lovely giant thing because it's getting way too big for its other little sack. This was also a gift in one of my Scrappy Advents, so thank you very much, Rebecca. Love it. It's so my colours. It's so pretty, and it's gigantic, so perfect for a blanket whip. Loving that, loving that, loving that. So that is all my active whips. I just have the blanket and the lento at the moment. I will be casting on oh yeah, and the duotone. So the duotone, as soon as the lento is done, which should be in the next it could even be by the end of the weekend. Today is Thursday. So yeah, I'm kind of have it in my mind that maybe by the end of the weekend I might have those sleeves done, or at least close. And so next week I can then focus on duotone and see how much progress I can make before Christmas. I'm going camping after Christmas on the 27th. Pretty low-key Christmas for me this year, so there will definitely still be some knitting getting done. But my husband will be home from work and my kids will all be home from school, so there'll be a lot more family things going on and not so much dedicated knitting time as I've had this week. So yes, it will be what it will be. I will enjoy what time I get, and yeah, I should do lots of knitting on holiday. My best knitty friend Helen, who lives up in Fielding, which is about 2 hours drive from me, she's coming camping with us over New Year's, so I will have a knitting buddy, so that will be really fun. We are going to knit together. Actually, I could tell you about that plan as well. So what else do I have coming up? I'm excited to be finished with the lentos. Like, after knitting a lento sweater every single month for the entirety of this year, I feel like such freedom coming on that the last one is nearly finished and I can just knit whatever I want to. And I'm not, of course it was a choice to be doing this Let's Lento thing, and my year of the lento was totally my choice, but it did become a little bit of a grind at times. And so I'm really excited to just be able to knit whatever takes my fancy. Obviously I've still got the old spin cycle warp and weft planned, so that one, as soon as I have cast off probably the duotone, like I need to have made significant progress on this before I cast on that. I'm going to be away for New Year's, so I don't know if I will take it camping with me to be a New Year's cast on. I might just do it when I come home if I've made really good progress on the duotone. That's supposed to be done by the 2nd, so hopefully I have. The lento will be off. I don't know if I'm going to cope with just one whip. Well, I'll have the blanket until the 24th. Maybe on Christmas I'll have a Christmas Day cast on, and it might be this. I can't do it in reverse. It might be this, the warp and weft that I talked about last time. Or it might be a little summer knit. I have some plans for sure. I'm also planning, so I've got the warp and weft planned. I have another test knit that I have signed up for, which had a really long test period. It's not due until March. So I thought, oh, sure, I don't have to start that till January or February and it'll still be fine. It is called the Irene Sweater. It's designed by Journey Through Yarn. I'll try and pop a picture up of the sweater. It's really cool. It's kind of oversized, boxy, drop shoulder, worked top down, and it's got all over texture, but it's got some dip stitches, kind of like the Cargill sweater from the Cray Bear, which I made last December. So it should be fine. I know how to do those. It's really quite funky. So I signed up. I still have not decided what yarn to use, so I'd love your opinion. I have 3 contenders. It's a DK weight gauge and yarn, so I have these 3 from my stash. Lots of people are doing it in neutral shades, and I have some neutral shades I could use, but I don't feel like doing that. I feel like doing it in a colour. When I saw the test knit, this one jumped to mind initially. It's really beautiful. It's quite heathered. This is called Chatswood, and it's from Skeins, my local yarn store and mill. This is a recycled fibre blend. So it has, I don't know if it actually says on the label, but it's a multi-fibre blend, but it's from recycled yarn, so it'll have a combination of merino, polworth, alpaca, mohair. It has all sorts blended in, but it's got that really beautiful heathery, this is called York. This was a special edition colourway, but I would go with this in a heartbeat, apart from the fact that it is so similar to the other test knit I'm doing, which is in completely different yarns, but the colourway, you can tell I enjoy this colour. So similar, so I'm kind of like, no, I really want to be working on 2 test knits at the same, like back to back in the same colourway. So then I was like, what else can I use? I have this one. This is called Lotus. This is a merino polworth blend. Really pretty, sort of like dusky lilac-y pink. And then I have this one, which is called Black Pearl. This colour is called Utatake. And this is also a recycled fibre blend with merino, alpaca and silk. So it has a really smooth, round strand. Really lovely. This, I actually knit my Cargill sweater in this yarn in a different colour, in like a deep burgundy red kind of colour. So I know you get really good stitch definition with this yarn because it's so round and smooth. This one's a bit woollier. This is a non-super wash, whereas these are both super wash. No, this is a hand wash. I apologise. This is a super wash, I'm pretty sure. This is a super wash. This is a hand wash, merino Polworth. It's lovely. It has a similar construction, really round, like multi strands, but a really round, plump, smooth construction. So I don't know. What do you think? I feel like I'm ruling this one out just because it's so similar to the other one, but I think it would look stunning. All the blue, which is quite tonal, like it's not tonal, but it's got quite a lot of depth of colour. It's more tealy than it's coming up there. It's coming up quite blue on the camera, but it's kind of like this deep dark water colour. All the kind of purpley pink. Let me know what you think. I still don't know. But I've got a little bit more time because I've got to get through the duotone before I can cast that on for sure. So that's a plan. What else do I have planned? I'd love to make some summer knits. I do enjoy a little knit cami. Some days in Wellington it's way too hot. We hit 30 degrees Celsius in the summer sometimes, but they tend to be like a handful of days rather than consistently for the whole summer. Today it's supposed to be about 20-22 degrees, so I could easily wear a knit cami. It's too windy actually today. I think I'd be cold. Need something on my arms or something like this is better, but yeah, they do fit my wardrobe. I can wear them in my climate, and also I like to layer them under sweaters in the winter. So thoughts that I have for some summer knits. I got this beautiful yarn from my American Wool Swap from Megan and her friends. This is Pearl Soho Linen Quill. I did actually request some of this. I was like, oh, I hear so much about this yarn. I'd love to give it a try. So I said, can you send me either bright flamingo or pink pop? And she picked the bright flamingo, and man, is it bright. It's so like fluoro, but it's like this beautiful coral colour. So I have two of these, and I'm thinking I'll make a toaster tea, a 4-play, fingering weight toaster tea with these. So that's an exciting. This is 50% Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. So that'll be a lovely summer knit. It's blowing out. It's blowing out, but it's also not because it's so bright, and even in real life. So I've got that plan. Hopefully get to do that this summer, because I'll be really versatile. I also have from that swap over here the Explorer Knits and Fibres. Did I show you this on the last episode? Can't remember. But this is in the colourway Nutmeg. This is their Rocky's DK, which is quite a light DK. It's 250 metres per 100 grams, which is like mostly like these DKs are more like 100 metres. So it's a bit lighter. This one's 112, I think. 112. This is 150. So I have quite a lot of meterage here. And I'm thinking I would like to make a, what is it called? It's like the ripple tank, something like that, by Jessie Made Designs. I'll put a photo in. I've made one before that I used a single skein of Yee yarn that I had, and I didn't actually have enough. I needed to incorporate. I incorporated some black for the sleeves and the rib edges because it just wasn't enough to make a wearable garment. But her DK was a heavier DK. It was definitely more like, it might have been 100 metres for, yeah, it might have been 100 metres for 100 grams, but it might have been more like, yeah, it might have been slightly less. No, sorry, this is 100 metres for 50 grams, so it was 200. I think it was like 180 metres. So it was a heavier DK, much heavier than this. So this I would love to make just a nice little tank, little ribbed tank. I thought I could do, the pattern I have by Jessie Made is a bottom up, which is a little tricky for when you've got a limited amount of yarn, but I thought I could do like 10 centimeters of body with a provisional cast on, and then do all the top and all the finishes and the straps and stuff, and then add whatever I've got left to the body, and that should work. I didn't know about provisional cast on when I did my last one, so that would make it much easier, because I literally knit the thing twice because I knit it and it was just too tiny, and so then I had to start again and added in the second colour, which worked well, and it's really cute. I actually have a picture of myself wearing it when I was in Vanuatu earlier this year. I'll see if I can find that and pop it in. It's a cute top, so I want some more like that. So that's a plan for this one. And I have another single DK weight skein coming in the posts, hopefully today, actually, today or tomorrow, that I brought on a D-stash that is just beautiful. Which I'd also like to make a summer cami with. So yeah, I'll see if I can find a picture of that from when I purchased it and pop it up here. It's really beautiful. It's a hand dyed. It's a one-of-a-kind skein, and it's from somewhere Scandinavian or Iceland or somewhere like that. It was like a really cool, out of this, you know, like other side of the world kind of yarn. So I'm excited to knit that up this summer as well. What else? One other plan. This is slightly more in the future. You might have noticed the Crayobea's been teasing a few new designs. A really beautiful all over cabled sweater, and also a all over like herringbone stitch textured sweater that are her next two that are going to be coming up for test knitting. And I'm not a huge cable knitter. I've not been able to do them particularly well, and I don't find that they fit my wardrobe particularly well all over cables. But the herringbone textured one, oh my gosh, loving the look of that. So I have this yarn which I purchased recently. This is Highland Heathers. This is a more rustic New Zealand yarn. It's beautiful pale blue, all heathery with like creams. It's a sport weight yarn, and this is very similar specs to what she's using for her sample. They're obviously different origin. New Zealand wool, it's 100% wool, it's hand wash, it's a woolly wool. It's a bit too hot to knit with this at the moment, even though it is sport weight. Yes, so I have this tucked away, just waiting for that sweater to come out. She's doing hers in like a natural creamy colour, and I feel like a light colour will be really nice for that design. If I can find a picture of her teasers, I'll put it up, but that's what I'm going to use for that. So that will probably be later in the year. I mean, I'm going to apply for the test knit, but if I don't get into that, it probably won't be released until, I don't know, middle of next year. But I have the yarn. That's a plan. Yeah, I think that's all. The other sweater that she's got in testing currently is like a colourwork sweater that's kind of like one, it's two-tone, two colours with one on the top, and then it swaps to the other one on the bottom, and it's really cool. And I actually bought some yarn on D-Stash a little while ago, and then realised it's the exact yarn she's using for her sample, so that's also potentially a plan. This is called Lure. This is it is 100% Kent lamb's wool, sourced and produced in England. It's by the Fibre Co. And yeah, I just picked it up. I saw it on D-Stash for a really good price, and I was like, oh, that's 100% English wool. Like, I would love to try some like good rustic UK wool. So I have two of these, which I don't know if it's enough, but these are also 250 meters per 100 grams, so it's that lighter level of DK. But being a rustic wool, I'm sure it will block up and plump up quite a lot. So I want to pair it with cream. I'm thinking this is in stash. Hold on, let me see if I can find one. Not that one. Oh, they've all lost their labels. One of my daughters went through a stage of loving to rip off the labels of all my wool, which is wonderful. This is the same, it's a different batch, but it's the same as this Chatswood. But this is the undyed version of this batch, and it's kind of like this soft oatmeal creamy colour, and I think that would just be divine as a combo. So I'll pop the picture up of that sweater too. So that's also a plan. Also probably more of a winter knit, because this is woolly wool. It's not going to be so fun to handle in the hot weather. But I can knit what I want whenever I want. It's never that hot in New Zealand that you never need a jumper. You always need one at some point. Maybe not every day in summer, but early mornings and late evenings if you're out, especially if you're camping like we're going to be for summer. Definitely need something snuggly. So that's a plan. So I've got so many plans. I've got so many other plans that with all of this, most of this around me has a plan. It's just when it gets to the top of the list, and I keep getting new things that keep bumping everything down and jumping to the top. But hey, that's life, and it's my yarn and it's my craft and it's my joy, so I can do what I like when I like. And there's such freedom in that, coming out of the year of the Lento, that I can cast on whatever I want. I really want 2024 to be a year of more textured knits, of a slower pace of knitting. You know, with the Lentos, I was just blown away that I could knit one in 6 days, and like, whoa, look how much I can churn out this year. And I already have so many sweaters that I now feel like, let's go into 2024 with plans and intentions of a bit, not slower knitting, but knitting more complicated things, knitting things that take a bit more presence of mind, and that just take a bit longer, and not being worried about how long this project takes, or finishing it within this set time period, or this month, or how many can I churn out, but actually just enjoying the process, enjoying the yarn, and making things that I'm going to be proud of, that aren't just simple stockinette sweaters. Not that I'm not proud of all my Lentos, I love them all, they're great, but just, yeah, building on my skills and just taking it a bit slower and more intentionally, and just mindfully, and doing some more complicated knits. It's still going to be a really busy year for me. There's probably not going to be a lot of knitting time next year, and so just acknowledging that and leaning into that, and just doing some fun things. And if I only make 5 or 6 sweaters in the whole year, oh well, that's fine, you know, like there's no rules. This is my craft and my hobby, and I can pursue it how I like. So yeah, I don't think I have. I'm looking around. Was there anything else that I haven't spoken about yet? Only my other advents. So I mentioned last time that I had my Hobbit advent, but then I had 3 Scrappy swap advents. So I have been opening up each day, and I thought about like making them last and just opening one and then the other, and now I've just done them all. It's so fun. My daughters have been really loving helping open them up as well. So I've kind of got them all in this box. I'll see if I can show it to you without tipping them all out. It's quite difficult. Okay, here we go. So these little balls here, these are a Scrappy swap from a lovely lady in New Zealand, Melanie. She gave me the this project bag as part of my package. And so this is completely Scrappy. I don't have labels for these. I don't know what they are. They all appear to be sock yarns. They're all fingering weight 10 gram balls. Such a riot of fun and colour. Oh, it's a bit hard to show without them all tipping out. So much fun. My intention with all of those is to knit Scrappy socks. So I'm going to knit Scrappy sock tubes with all these fun colours throughout next year. And yeah, and put the variegated ones in the body of the sock, and probably use the more solid colours for the heels and toes and cuffs. So I'm just going to make some fun Scrappy socks with those. This middle column here, you can see it's kind of a fade. I don't know how someone has enough yarn and stash of scraps and leftovers to make a fade out of scraps. It's crazy. But there's another local lady, well, New Zealand based lady, Rebecca, and she gave me that giant peachy coloured bag along with this, and it starts with this brighter purple. Well, that was close. And it's been fading all the way through purples, through blues, and now we're in greys. Yeah, and so it'll be interesting to see what comes next, because we're only about halfway through. These little ones, I admit, we have opened more than half of them. My daughter and I have got a bit excited, and sometimes both opened one, but again, we can do what we like. And then these 20 gram skeins over here, this is my swap with Chelsea from Sunday Knitting Society in the US. Okay, and so she has been sending all sorts of lovely, look at these Chelsea Luxe yarns. I swear these don't have, none of these have labels with them, but I swear this is Chelsea Luxe yarn. I'm sure I've seen that online. This one too, maybe. Oh, so pretty, lots of pinks. This looks like linen quill and bright flamingo to me. Some beautiful single ply tonals. This one here, this one's a mohair, this one's like a slub yarn. How fun is that? So much different stuff. Yeah, and with all of these we didn't attempt to make, we didn't agree to make a fade or anything cohesive. We just said do it scrappy. Just do either mini skeins that you already own that you don't know if you'll ever use from previous advents, or from just purchasing mini skeins, or make up a skein of scraps. Yeah, so fun, loving it. Definitely going to pursue this again next year. For the price of shipping and a few hours prepping it, which is so much fun anyway, it's absolutely amazing and so great, so worth it. I have loved that. That has been cool. I'm loving my Hobbit Advent, but comparing how much I spent on that compared to, I'm getting just as much joy out of the scrappy ones that I didn't spend hardly any money on. So, and I'm still getting, for the most part, beautiful hand-dyed yarns, just leftovers, which you always often end up with 10-20 grams left over. So good. Sustainable. Haven't come up with projects for the other two yet. We will see what they turn into. I'll probably just use them in random things. Though because the one from Rebecca is like a fade, I think I will be able to do something cohesive with that, a garment with that of some description, but I don't know what yet. I'll keep thinking about it. I think that might be all that I have to talk about today. 37 minutes, that's probably enough of hearing me yabber on. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really enjoy getting to spend some time just chatting about my knitting and sharing my excitement and all the new yarny beautiful things. Hopefully by next time that I record, let's see, Christmas is at the end of next week and then I'm away camping. So unless I do a pre-Christmas one, I could potentially maybe record next Friday or something, right before my husband comes home and it's the holidays. We'll see. I'll see if I've made enough progress on anything. I should definitely have finished the lento. If I've made enough progress on the duotone, then maybe I will do a little short episode and show what my progress. Otherwise, I will probably see you in the new year. I'm away camping until the 1st of January, and then it's my oldest daughter's 11th birthday on the 2nd of January. And then I'm working most of that week because my husband is home, so we're doing a swapsies and I'm going to work and he's staying home. So I'm not sure. It might be mid-Jan before I record again, or I might be able to escape and do a little recording sometime. Well, the family's busy doing something else. We'll just have to wait and see. I definitely want to do that lento wrap up video for you once I've finished this final lento, so that will hopefully come sometime probably in January. And I would definitely want to make a everything I knit in 2023 video as well, so hopefully they'll be coming at you probably in January. I can't imagine myself getting those done with all the family around. But anyways, thank you again for joining me, and I hope that I will see you again in the not too distant future. Enjoy your holidays, enjoy the festivities, enjoy celebrating Christmas however you do, and I hope you get lots of knitty time in there amongst there as well. Thanks, see you again soon.